Judicial autonomy, independence and institutions. The judiciary being the strongest link in the democratic chain. Both of you have held appointments with constitutional appointments and have had a plethora of judgments attributed to your names. My question to you, Indira, I've been forbidden from calling you ma'am, is when, in your opinion, has the judiciary in the last 75 years since independence, because the context here is the 75 years of independence and what we look forward to in the next 25 years and how we take this journey to 100 years. In your opinion, when has the judiciary been most autonomous, most independent?
Thank you. You're asking me to go back maybe 75 years.
Absolutely.
And
Why not?
Project myself into the future, another 25 years. So it's going to be, a recall from memory, if I may say so. Yeah. So I think the foundations of this country are very, very strong. And we are blessed with one of the best constitutions in the world. Why do I say it's one of the best constitutions in the world? Because it is, first of all, it's a post-Second World War constitution, and therefore heavily influenced by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So our country actually fast-forwarded many, many centuries into 1947, when we gave to ourselves this constitution. And we inherited a lot of the wisdom of the world, which is written into our constitution. Of course, we had wonderful people like Dr. Ambedkar to be in the drafting committee and give us the constitution that we have today. So this constitution sets up a governing ethos, which, for want of a better word, we have come to call as secular. And what does it mean? It means that each one in this country counts for one. Every single person is an autonomous human being, has to be treated with equality, has to be treated with respect, had to be treated with dignity. It doesn't matter what post you occupy, what position you occupy or you don't occupy. That is the guiding light of the Constitution. Now the question is, if this is the guiding light of the Constitution, who will deliver to us the promise of the Constitution? And the way it's set up is we have the executive, the legislative, the judiciary. Each of these branches is supposed to maintain a check over the other. And this is how we visualize the judiciary as an independent institution. Independent of what? Independent of the executive, independent of the legislature, and there for the citizen. Part 3 of the Constitution, the fundamental rights, are the most important provisions of the Constitution, and they're meant for people like you and me and everyone else. So that brings you to your question, that first you need to understand independence from what, and I've answered that question. Then comes your question, when was the judiciary independent? Now, in my opinion, it has been by and large independent, but there are two dramatic moments when I would have to admit that that independence was lost. And lost and regained. Is it being lost again? That's a question that we need to debate today. So one was obviously during the emergency, when the Supreme Court rendered its ADM Jabalpur judgment, which was the lowest of the low water mark in this country. And it doesn't matter that 30, 40 years later you apologize for it. The fact is the judiciary did let the country down at the time when ADM Jabalpur was decided. I am sorry to have to say that we are passing through another such moment in history. But this time, more subtly, more surreptitiously, more without the declaration of an emergency. And I must tell you, it's much easier for a citizen, for a lawyer, to challenge authoritarian power if you have a document in writing which you can challenge. Today you have no such document in writing. But independence, in my opinion, to some extent is lost because the appointments which are being made to the Supreme Court are being made through the back door by the executive in this country. And although on paper we have a system which says that the collegium of judges alone shall decide who will become a judge and who will not become a judge, there is a consultation with the executive, and executive has often exercised sometimes a pocket veto, sometimes they just simply ignore the recommendation of the judiciary. And this is why I feel that we are today back again at a moment when we are in danger of losing the independence.
You mean
Two
like the
critical
ABP
moments.
Jabalpur case?
True critical. Well, don't forget that the title of your event is the idea of India. So I've tried to present to you my idea of India.
Yeah, ideas of India.